Hello, fellow enjoyers of the AFL. It's Matt here with another SUPERCOACH video and another modest week. Where we've dropped in ranks, top 3%. That's so ugly, man. No good. Let's just go straight into it. Let's have a look here. So, underperforming Premos galore for me. So, Sarong, Steele, Green, Butters, Marshall, probably he dropped about 40, 50 points on both of English and Grundy. Fisher is what it is. Everyone's got him. 551, not everyone has 5. So anyway, not great. And yeah, look, the only positives I'll take out of this week is that I traded out the man who Bevo hates, McRae. He got a 58. So I'm happy that I did that because it was between him and Sexton for the person who was going to remain in the team and be the F6. So yeah, good result that we got rid of him. Actually, one little positive as well. Actually, Dan Houston, man, got me a good score. Let's get him open, right? Let's open him up. So I traded him in on against North for a 77. So what's his actually now? We can have a look. What's his last 3 average? Last 3 average is 116. He's averaged 116 for me. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. That's PREMO defender right there. What would have actually? I'm curious now. What would have happened if I traded in Jordan Clark instead that week? Because that was the one I was kind of 115. So I've won the trade, and there we go. Anyway, I digress. Let's go into how we're going to fix this team. Let's optimize to start us off. Nice. So, how many players are we going to have playing here? So that's 6. That's a full team there. So 1 missing, 2, 3, 4. So 4 players missing at the moment. So we've actually got a full 18, which is pretty cool. Then, no, that's fine. I guess no trades this week. But nah, we're looking to progress this team. And how are we going to do that? Sully is going to go. Yeah, James P. Sullivan's been pretty good for us, man. Shout out to him, bro. And Fraser as well. He's also been very good. Some serviceable scores. I got Fraser in a week later than his first price rise, but we needed the cash gen, and so he made us about 95k or whatever that ended up being. So shout out to him. So for now, we're also going to be trading out Jack Steele. And that's that. I think I traded him in at like 620k. So that's pretty deplorable in the end. Anyway, is what it is. We're going to switch Fisher to the forward line. And then we're going to trade in to the defense, big boy Jordan Ridley. So Ridley's coming in. And the thing with Ridley is there's the injury prone tag that he carries. And we're spending 563k on an Essendon player, which is uncomfortable. But the thing with Ridley is that he scores from a variety of ways. So whether it's intercepts, whether it's kick-ins, whether it's, just being the exit option out of defense in general. And that appeals to me. And also, pending the fitness of Laverty and Mackay, he won't play a lockdown role on one of the top 2 forwards, you would think. So anyway, so that's my thinking behind Ridley. There are other options in the defense. If we switch over McKercher there, for example, and we'll switch Dacos there, for example. Well, let's just have a look at the other defenders that we could bring in. Elliot Yeo at 514. Again, another injury-prone one, but more injury-prone. Jeremy McGovern. We can still go for Clark. That's interesting. That's an extra 20k. Nick Martin. Yeah, nah. Max Holmes. Would be a nice little pod there. Sinclair's got the bye this week. Would be uncomfortable to trade him in this week. Bailey Dale as well. He's rule him out because of the bye. Sissels would have been a huge pod. And then there's Whitfield as well at 505, which is a good song by the Arctic Monkeys. And that tempts me to bring him in just based off of that. But nah, look. Naz 5. No, he's got the bye as well. Hayden Young. I like Hayden Young. I think he's a great player. Do I want him in my SUPERCOACH? again. Props not. Stu, 466. That saves us a bit of cash. We wouldn't have to trade out Steele if that was the case, but we do want to trade Steele. So anyway, look, those are the other options. I think Ridley, scoring potential-wise, is the highest out of all these guys. Unless Yo is fit, Yo might, smash him, but who knows? I don't think so. Anyway, let's move Dacos and McKercher back into the defense. Now, the other players we've got to bring in is... I'm going to have to search up his name because it'll take forever to find him otherwise. Rosie. So Connor Rosie comes in. It's between him and another guy, and I'll go through it a bit later. But he's at 418k. And assuming he gets back to his full fitness, he'll have his roll back. He'll score similarly to Steele anyway, and I'm making 110k there. So, yeah, we'll take that. And then the next trade, we're going to have to bring in a dude. What I would like to bring is a dude who has midfield and defender swapping capabilities. And it's going to be a dude who probably won't play this year. If he does, it'll be later on in the season. Lowest price, that's what we've got to go. And that's Sad El Hawli, right? Yeah, I happened to be watching his VFL game where he kicked like 4 or 5 in the last quarter. And I'm like, here we go, he's our guy. But then he also got a syndesmosis injury at the same time. I think as he was kicking his last goal, he copped it. But look, if you want to go who might actually play, Lawson Humphreys has been killing it in the VFL. And there was a little mention by Chris Scott that he might actually get some game time at some point this year. So look, if you want the little, cheeky option of, I don't know, of some actual cash gen perhaps, you go get Lawson Humphreys. If he gets named this week, I'll probably just pick him because why not, man? Like, what we got to lose? But for now, we're going with El Hawli. Going to complete trades. And before I optimize, I want to show you guys now how the team will look post-buys. So we have 7 trades, which is pretty decent. We're going to move Sexton over there. And we're going to sub Sexton on for Dowling at this point. That's what's going on. Flanders is in the guts. That's not what we want. We want him chilling in our forward line. So F6 will be between Sexton and Fife. Not too bad. And Rosie is going to come on here for Captain Dowling. And Bont is going to come on for Cheeky Clark over there. Now, this team, so, all right, positions in defense, 1 to 5, very good. Kirch, risky, but he's got a good role and he's cheap. So I'm hoping he can hold his own as a D6 for the rest of the year. I'd love that. Worst case scenario, we've got 7 trades to make something happen. Then we've got, all right, I like my first 3, and then I hate the rest. These mids suck, right? The hope is that Oliver can turn his fortunes around, with Petrarca out, a bit more fitness. He's the only mouth to feed on that team, which means he's probably a tag risk as well. But is what it is. Tom Green, this one's killed me, man. I traded him in at 580k the week that he got injured against Sydney for 15, and he's gone down 130k. What a malacca. Anyway, Marshall, another malacca. He got me excited with his 260s, and then he fell away. But look, the rest of the team's not too bad, right? So then we look onwards, right? So this week, I'm going to be assessing McKercher, Sexton, and Fife, right? And one of those might have to go, right? And what would need to happen if they go is, say if it's McKercher, right? If he needs to go, how much money we got? 71k. So we've got 71k. We can possibly downgrade Darcy Jones and upgrade McKercher to Whitfield, and we'd have 5 trades left. That's not too bad. if Sexton or Fife look bad, or if Sexton, if Sexton gets dropped, right, he could get dropped. I have a guy in mind, right? I have a guy in mind, and that's Joe Caldwell. Actually, I have a couple guys in mind, but the first one I'm going to mention is Joe Caldwell. He's averaging 89 in 3% of teams, so he's a pod. But this dude is a model of consistency, man. Look how consistent he is. 90s, 100, 80, 80, 90. The one game here against West Coast, he's still averaging 1 point per minute because he got subbed off. So he would have probably had another 90 game there. And that's who he has this week. Parrish is out for another 4 weeks, I think. But even then, the game where he didn't get CBA's, Joe Caldwell, he still played well. So he's a guy who I like. And that would mean I could probably go Sexton straight to him because we got that 70K, or it would mean Fife and Darcy Jones to him. I'll downgrade Darcy Jones and Fife can go to him. So that's the other option. There's Joe Caldwell. And the other one I'm looking at as well is just because, actually we'll go both Curnow and Mackay. Both Curnow and Mackay. Curnow's run, actually, before we even go into his run, he's been consistent as well. 80, 80, 90, 71, 108. 71 against the Sydney's pretty solid there. But look at this run. Richmond, easy. There's a North game there, easy. Hawthorn, not so easy. But then he finishes off on West Coast and St Kilda, which is, they're two easy games, and it would mean it's during the Supercoach finals as well. You know what I mean? I'm in some cash leagues. So, Curnow is another one. So between Curnow and Caldwell are dudes who I'm looking at. And I feel safer going with Curnow than, I would usually feel with a key position, because we've got Fife as a backup, or would have Sexton as a backup. You know what I mean? So there's looping capabilities. And because we've got Dawson and we've got El Howley that we can move around, they could even come on for McKercher if McKercher doesn't look good. So yeah, there's just plenty of options with this team. And with 7 trades, I feel pretty happy going into proceeding like this for the rest of the season. Anyway, let's optimize for the round. And captains, I don't know. Look, I'm between Gawn versus North, just because he needs to show something. He needs to do something. And maybe even Ridley VC into Ryan. Like, that might be a bit risky, but that's an option as well. Didn't realize how much I'd miss Bont and Dacos as VC options. Walsh against Geelong, against the weakened Geelong midfield, if he decides to not spray every kick, he might be a decent option. What about Flanders? Man, what about Flanders? He's consistent. He doesn't drop below 100. Heaney could get tagged by new boy Bedford. Look, I think I'm gonna just go with Ridley VC, man. At the moment, let's swing. Actually, no. Let's just go Gawn into Flanders for this. At this point, we're gonna go into Flanders. What? There's Cherry. Have they versed North this year? I can't remember. Have we versed them? I think we have. Ooh, no, we haven't versed them this year. Look, I'm gonna do some DVP on DFS a little bit. Let's do it. Let's do it here. Why not? Let's have a quick squiz of DVP. For those who don't know, defense versus position. Okay, there we go. A little UFC action, little UFC plug right there. I was scared of what that was for a second, man. 2 shirtless dudes looking at each other. Jeez. Last 5, we go Rux. Where's North? Oh, geez, Cherry dominating. So we're not going Gawn. Let's go designated kick. West Coast, no good either. What are we doing, man? What are we gonna do? No one's versing St Kilda this week. That sucks. Flanders, who are they versing? Freo. There we go. Okay, that's the captain option then. And then VC. Who's VC? Like, the thing is, no one's doing, like, the Rucks aren't doing well against North, but this is Gorn we're talking about. This is Gorn. So, I don't know. A bit uncomfortable there. What about, what's going on with the inside mids against Geelong? All right. There we go. There it is. There it is. We're swinging for the fences here. We're going Walshy VC. That does not feel good. Walsh into Flanders. Ugh. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to change. That's going to change before the round. Let's go and do our Draftland detour. Shout out to Nicky Dudes, who I said, I'll probably beat him this week, but nah, he beat me. So good on him, man. Shout out to Dudes. And shout out to my computer. What are we doing here? What is this? There we go. Jeez, man. The team, we're going to have a full 18. So when it's the top 16 scores, that's pretty good. My bring-ins for this week, Bedford, I managed to get him. So that depends on his role, right? Depends on what, if he stays in the guts, it could be, a solid 70 average. Sparrow, that was just purely, much like getting Pickett last week. Sparrow is just, Petrarca's out. Is he going to take the CBAs back? He was good for me at the start of the season, so, we're giving him another shot. But if we look at the forward options for us, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bolter, who did pretty well last week. I'm very happy with that 72. 9, if Zach Williams gets the forward positioning. So, being that the midfield positions, like we got 3 midfielders here to fill those spots. There's plenty there. We've got plenty of defenders, who are good. Our rucks, Briggs in English, solid. Briggs usually in the flex position. So I feel like the rest of the positions on the ground are cool, but I'm just trying to maximize the forward line because that's just where you got to do in draft. If, say, Bedford, Sparrow, Pickett, any of these dudes aren't available in your, like, if they are available in your draft teams, I'd suggest, giving them a shot. Bolter as well. Bolter averages well in the defense. Let's have a look. Who we got this week? Go around 15. We've got Sammy Sprinkler. We got Jimmy Drossos. Look, great bloke, good kid, but look how many buys he's got, man. Dude's cooked. So there's 4 there who are going to come on. And I got an extra like 4 or 5 still. So I've got a buy round this week, which is nice. Shout out to, and he's online right now. Okay, he's online. Maybe he's fixing things. Maybe he's made some trades. Is there any pickups? Has he done anything? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Nothing. I can't see any Sprinkles additions. No. Anyway, that's still in the top 4, which is good. Dino's been knocked off his porch of being on top. Cheeky Frappe Macrema is up there. Cheeky Dutch boy Perry he's up there as well. I didn't realize until like a couple weeks ago that MA Lakers is a his name's Matthew, and maybe he's a Lakers fan, maybe he's not. I always thought it was just that, MA Lakers instead of LA. But it actually, if you read it out, you get rid of that space. It's Malacas. And I didn't realize that. And when I figured it out, or when Dino told me, someone told me, I'm like, bro, they're so clever. Anyway, shout out to MA Lakers. We're going to end it on that. Look, good luck for your trades, boys. Most of you guys will be full PREMO, enjoying your times. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Catch us later.
Give up. Just quit. Because in this life, you can't win. Yeah, sure, you can try. But in the end, you're just going to lose. Big time. Because the world is run by the man. The man. Oh, you don't know the man?